Welcome back to Nightly Nancy Unfiltered. Tonight, we're diving into one of the most underrated superpowers you can develop, emotional intelligence, which we all need to work on. I definitely know. God knows I need to work on that too. Is not just a buzzword in corporate self help books. It's a survival skill, a relationship hack, and frankly, the difference between chaos and calm in life. Emotional intelligence is your ability to understand your own emotions, recognize them in others, and respond thoughtfully and think things through instead of having a reaction rate of zero. So, responding thoughtfully, thinking about it rather than reacting impulsively. So, we're going to talk about why this matters for friendships, romantic relationships, family dynamics, and even professional settings. I'll tell you real stories, some ridiculous, some deeply emotional, and give you practical ways to level up your own emotional intelligence while keeping things entertaining. Let's get ready. So, the first step in mastering emotional intelligence is knowing yourself. Now, this sounds really simple, right? But most people live in like a reactive mode, barely noticing their emotional state until they just explode. I've been there. I know. So, I'm going to tell you guys a little story. I knew a man named Steve. Actually, it's my cousin. Love you, Steve. Love you, Pam. Who would constantly lash out at his coworkers. And it was just over minor mistakes, like an anger issue. After some reflection, he realized that it wasn't the mistakes themselves that angered him. He had to look deep inside and notice that it was his own fear of failure and inadequacy being projected outward. Recognizing this allowed him to pause, which is key, and breathe, which is key, and respond more thoughtfully, which is the end solution or result that we're looking for. Now, emotional awareness can be ridiculous at first. Carl would shout at the Stephen would shout at the copy maker for jamming and then realized he was actually mad at himself for not proofreading a report. He just tried to joke it off. The copier is my therapist now. The one thing that I've noticed with people is that when you are lashing out at someone else, it's usually an inward problem going on. It could be in reaction to something else that someone did, yes, but it's usually an inward thing like um, anger, frustration, maybe envy, excitement, joy. The key is to naming all of your emotions that you're feeling at the time because all of it matters. Let yourself know your feelings are validated. Then, when you label your feelings, they lose that power to hijack your reactions that have like a 0% reaction rate, and then you just lash out. Once you observe yourself, the next step is tuning into others. We have to have empathy with others and be able to handle others' emotions too. Emotional intelligence, it's not just internal, it's relational back and forth, like observing body language with others. Tone and subtle cues can prevent misunderstandings and also improve connection. Sometimes reading emotions, it can be absurd, but once you like literally look at someone's problems and what they're facing and you have empathy with that, you're able to respond better. Um and the context does matter and overthinking often does too. The better you understand, and we all understand, including myself, understand others' emotions, the more skilled you become at responding rather than just reacting. This builds trust also and reduces unnecessary conflict. And the point is that you want to get to is finding the solution instead of arguing in the middle about everything. So you want to find the solution to the whole problem. That's your goal. Emotional intelligence shines in your responses. Reactivity is instinctual, but intentional responses are very powerful. This is where empathy, perspective taking, and restraint comes into play. Intentional responses can be awkwardly funny at first, but you have to master these absurd moments and also have compassion on yourself. But always try to think of the other person and what they're going through instead of just thinking what's going on in yourself. Because if you think of other people and what you're communicating with them and you don't get it, there's probably a problem somewhere that needs a solution. Intentionality requires patience and practice. Pausing and considering consequences, both those especially, and choosing compassion over impulse is the core of emotional intelligence. High emotional intelligence also means resilience, getting right back up and trying again and having compassion and just getting right back up and trying again and forgiving yourself and forgiving the other person, whatever it may be. Just get back up and back up and back up and try again. That's resilience. You may experience anger, frustration, hurt, or betrayal without letting it control your behavior, though. You can do that. It doesn't have to control your behavior. You don't have to get all angry and lash out. You just don't have to. You set boundaries. Boundaries are huge with not being able to, not having to be in a toxic situation with someone where you have a zero response rate and your anger gets the best of you. You set boundaries, but without guilt, because it's not bad to set boundaries. It's good. You set boundaries without guilt, forgive without losing yourself, and respond without being reactive. Okay. So, another thing is you can train emotional intelligence with daily practices. So, start with a reflection. End your day reviewing your emotional responses and ask, what triggered me? How did I react? Could I have responded better? So, journaling, what I would like you guys to do tonight, if you think you can have the time to do this, which would be awesome, and then comment below what you found out and what you learned. What I would like you guys to do, if you have this issue too, is to journal. Write down what triggered you. How did I react? And how could I have responded better with one situation you remember during your day that think you did not handle correctly? Or you wonder, did I handle this correctly? I'm going to give that to you again. What triggered me? What triggered me? How did I react? How did I react? Could I have responded better? Could I have responded better? Write those down. And then what I want you to do on your own time is journal. Write down and take notes of this. Write down emotional experiences. Write down reactions of you and the other person of this one situation you're thinking of. And also write down each other's patterns. You can also include funny or ridiculous moments because it keeps the process light and relatable. The second thing I want you guys to do, empathy exercises. Try seeing situations from another person's perspective, even if someone is someone you disagree with, and just observe without judgment. That's compassion. Also, another thing, pause and breathe. Take notes of this if you need to. Pause and breathe. And through the nose, hold it, and then let your stomach out when you breathe out. Let your belly just pop out when you breathe out through your mouth. It's simple, right? But it's a very effective. It also calms the nervous system down, everything, and lets your response rate be a lot more, have a lot more time with it. Before responding to someone who frustrates you, take 3 deep breaths and ask yourself, what outcome do I want here? Like I was saying, the solution, you want to find the solution. What is the solution I'm trying to get here? In that, when you do that, that takes away all the fighting in between, all the chaos in between. You want to avoid chaos and confusion. So you're going to reach for the goal, which is the solution. What outcome do I want here? And then there's another thing you can do, interactive moments. And you can include, in your recording, you can include clips of short scenarios, music, comedic reactions. Just watch those on Facebook to get your mind in a better place, in a funny place, like a light place that takes your mind off that. Because remember, like a clip of a kid saying something hilarious, a comedian, anything, something you enjoy, self-care, something you enjoy. If the anger is that bad built up in you, or whatever feeling that is negative, go take a break. Go check out, everybody's carrying their phone on them. Look at some Facebook reels, not some serious ones. And when you do that, what's going on is you're taking time to let your emotions pass. Like, think of your emotions like a wave, waves in the ocean, right? And then when the waves get to the end, they subside. That's exactly what your feelings do. They always go away, and then another emotion comes onto them. And you can help aid yourself by looking at something positive that you enjoy. Emotional intelligence is the art of mastering yourself while navigating the world skillfully. It's awareness, empathy, self control, and resilience all rolled up into one ball. The stronger your emotional intelligence, the healthier your relationships, the calmer your responses will be, and the more confident your presence becomes, and the more confident you even look to people because you start believing in yourself more. Mistakes will happen, absurdities will occur, but with practice, humor, and self reflection, you'll find yourself navigating life with grace and clarity. I hope this helped you guys. I wrote this all out, hoping it would help. It's some stuff I'm working on myself. But this has been the nightly Nancy News Show. Stay unfiltered, stay present, and remember, mastering emotions is not about perfection. It's about intentionally growing and growth and showing up fully human and present in every situation. Comment below if you guys have done this journaling and would like to leave a little feedback of how it helped you. Also, don't forget to join our raffle on Facebook to win $1,000. There's steps you have to take. Go to our page. Info is going to be underneath the video. And remember to click and follow and support me, Nancy. I love it that you guys are watching my videos, and I hope you guys have a great week, rest of your evening. And I will see you guys next time. Nancy out. Bye.